And I remember one other thing he said: I will not be reborn in China. I will be reborn in freedom. It's very profound. As Madam President said 66 years ago, he led his people, the monks who were slaughtered, through the mountains, the Himalayas, into India for safety. He still teaches inner peace and preaches compassion. I said, don't you harbor any ill will towards the Chinese people? He said, I cannot let negative emotions take over my soul. A true spiritual leader, I think about that meeting almost every day. He reminds us that the CCP can take away your land, but they cannot take away your culture or your spirit. Leading that delegation with Jim McGovern and Nicole Takis, who was here, was again so profound. And the relationships and the people of Tibet were so generous. The culture was so beautiful. And they fought up against this tyranny for many years. And that's why Jim McGovern and I introduced and passed the Promoting a Resolution to the Tibet-China Dispute Act, which clarifies U.S. policy that Tibet's right, they have a right to their own language, they have a right to their own religion, culture, and they have a right to self-determination. A few weeks ago, Congressman McGovern and I once again teed up to introduce a resolution commemorating July 6th as the Dalai Lama's 90th birthday as a day of compassion. Nobody exemplifies compassion more than the Tibetan people living in exile. This resolution affirms the Tibetan fundamental human rights and recognizes the Dalai Lama's legacy of contributions to furthering peace, nonviolence, human rights, and religious understanding. I'm grateful for the opportunity to honor His Holiness today and proud to advocate for Tibetans in this Congress. And I can tell you, Mr. McGovern and I will continue to fight for Tibetans' right to self-determination until the Dalai Lama and his people can return to their homelands.
Now, I've been inspired by the Dalai Lama for a long time. As a human being, I've been inspired by his personal commitment to practicing patience and charity. As a person raised in the Catholic faith, I've been inspired by his role as a spiritual leader. And as a congressman, I've been inspired by his role as a national leader, guiding his people through dark times toward a brighter future. His Holiness inspires millions. His teachings on religious tolerance, nonviolence, and peace building, his advocacy for freedom and dignity of the Tibetan people, his global vision of compassion and human rights. His message is a universal one. And I think all of us in Congress who honor His Holiness the Dalai Lama need to recommit ourselves to making sure that monies that have been frozen that are designed to help the Tibetan people and to help preserve Tibetan culture get restored. These funds were put in place in a bipartisan way, and we need a bipartisan group to make sure that they get restored. And so from here on Capitol Hill, we send our love to His Holiness halfway around the world in India. But next year, let us celebrate his birthday with him in Lhasa, Tibet. Happy birthday.
Hope is the most positive value we can have, a virtue that we can respect. Hope, because anything is possible for hope. And so sometimes people say to me, where is hope anymore? And I think of His Holiness, and I think of his faith that is so strong, and his goodness that he sees in himself and in others. And I say hope is always where it's always been, sitting right there between faith and the goodness of others. Faith, hope, and charity. Faith, hope, and love. So when we listen to him, we're taken to another place. So the fact that God has blessed him with 90 years, 90 years, and still having teachings in the rest is quite remarkable. And God has blessed him with that, but he has also blessed all of us for having been exposed either personally or through readings and the rest, or preaching, teachings from His Holiness, in the goodness of others. And that's how he's treated the authorities in China and any obstacles that are there. I'll just close by saying it's a pleasure to be here with all of you, but also with Mr. McCall and Mr. McGovern and some others who will be coming in, because it's really important for you to know in the House and in the Senate, support for Tibet is overwhelmingly bipartisan. That's because of the goodness of His Holiness. It's also because of the mobilization that you all bring to tell the story, and also the leadership of our colleagues. So thank you. Happy birthday, Your Holiness. I see the cake is here.